Hello everyone, it's me Jo, and today I'm going to be giving you a reaction video, and I've been enjoying them immensely. So in today's video, I'm going to be assessing and looking at the amazing cast of RuPaul Drag Race UK, because I'm a UK queen, and initially when they were actually pitching the idea to do Drag Race UK, Jonathan Ross was going to be involved, and through Greg Bailey, we were going to be transforming him into a drag queen. I actually spoke to Greg Bailey recently, and he has an amazing book called All Right Darling, and we kind of created this aesthetic where we took the drag queens out of their comfort zones and put them into more editorial looks, and he fashioned the most incredible book. So I want you guys to check it out and obviously buy it if you want. But I think that if ever there was a challenge in season 3 and they needed a photographer and makeup duo, I think we could do a good job because we've got a lot under our belt. So I'm going to give some credit to our little group of people from the UK, because our community is so integrated. There are trans people, there are drag queens, there are all different kinds of drag performers, and we're a little bit different. So I want that to be kind of known, and I think that it's been a bit of a misfortune that I've been the only kind of person from our little group that really shone and had the opportunity to work with that scene. Because even when I spoke to Matthew Anderson, he was talking to me about the complicated life and how he'd watched our videos from the get-go. So it was an incredible thing to find out, and I even thought it was funny because they made a bit of a joke about the simple life and called it the complicated life in recent episodes. So very interesting, because that was a series we started on YouTube with, and it's a really it's been an incredible journey for so many reasons. So I've been singing all the girls' praises on Twitter. I love Bimini. Bimini is a beast, as the song Ding Dang Dong says. Oh my god, it's so hilariously good, that song. And they, is that the correct pronoun for Bimini? I think she's non-binary, isn't she? They are just gorgeous, and I said, let's collab, and she said, sure. So maybe we'll do something for YouTube. I'm not sure what we can do yet. But I was actually really interested in doing a couple of the girls' makeup. My thing was, when Greg would say to me, do you want to do this person's makeup? Often I'd be like, nah, because they already have their makeup sorted. So I really like doing Alaska's makeup or Jinx's makeup because they weren't already polished. So when I got the chance to do their makeup, I think they tweaked their makeup a little bit because they saw how they could do their makeup differently. So I would do a couple of the girls, and I really want to do Tia Coffee. I'd love to do her as RuPaul, and I think that Ginny would be quite interesting to do because I could make Ginny look like a different person. So it would be interesting to do something in the long term, and obviously I think Taste is so beautiful, and we have to do, in my fantasy world, we have to do a Linda Evangelista Naomi Campbell shoot. That would be fab, and I'd love to do that with Greg maybe, but who knows. So let's go in with the cast of season 2. So who do we have? So let's go in alphabetical order. So we have Ahura, who is a young queen, and it's very interesting makeup to me because she has got the classic Joseph Harwood drawn on hair eyebrows, which come from Sinestra, Luxaria, and myself. When we initially started these, we were moving from doing pencil brows into more authentic brows, and Sinestra actually started to do a really incredible geometric shape where it was almost blocky and it had flecks of iridescence in. So it was a really interesting thing to see, because I think all the drag before then was very specific. There were some people that would do almost like a 60s brow, but when we really introduced that style, it caught on, and my god, those videos have been so successful with the brows. But Ahura, the thing about Ahura's makeup is she paints a face on that she sees when she's still, and she's got quite an emotive face. I think it might look a little bit better if she actually contoured less, because when she moves her face, it will show off a little bit more. She's beautiful. She is becoming more likable by the episode, I think. So I don't know what I would say about her, but I think she's great, and her fashion is fantastic. She seems to be confident with creating garments and things, which I love. So I think she's got a very interesting career path, because I want to see what she does next. Yeah. Bimini Bon Boulash. Now, Bimini, I am just a huge fan of. I think she's fantastic. I think she's got a beautiful image. I like that she has that sort of like London edge. There's a few queens in London that have kind of done that look and kind of done that aesthetic and that attitude, but they've not been as polite and nice as Bimini. I think that she comes across so much better because she has so much amazing personality. She does something very clever, which I think takes more confidence, and that is using less structural makeup to redefine the face. She uses what she's got and it works. I think she looks gorgeous, and I would love to collab with her, so maybe we can sort that out for something on YouTube when the virus calms down. Next is Ellie Diamond. Now, I adore Ellie. I have been complimenting her on Twitter since I saw her on the show because her makeup is so nice. She has incredibly, she's impressed me. And that takes a lot for a drag queen to impress me because she does something with colour that I don't think a lot of people do. Instead of just lightening things up and going like the same kind of shade over the top of a deeper shade to kind of like blend out a contour, so to speak, she uses colour in a very clever way, which is something that I love to see in makeup. When she did the green look, it was fantastic. The way that the yellow was applied over the green just made so much more of a statement. It looked like an acrylic painting. I thought it was gorgeous. I thought she looked really fantastic, and everything she's done, I've loved the seagull. I've loved the initial look she did, even though I think the style of the drag is just what's there. It's like a trendy look, isn't it, to have those big eyes that have got the white underneath the lower lash line, and just doing something that is original excites me a little bit more than that. So when I saw all the stuff she's done, I've been blown away by her. I think she's fantastic. So Lawrence Chaney, I have been aware of him for a little while. I've actually been booked in Glasgow and I judged a drag ball in Glasgow with Michelle. So it's been a long time that I've had a love for Glasgow, and often I'm a bit unsure of who the queens are because they don't have the same bolstered kind of social media presence, I guess. But then when I saw the way that they were talking about the drag scene in Scotland, it made a lot more sense because if there's not a budget there, my lovely friend Alice Rabbit has a gorgeous night there. She's awesome, and we've done a little photo shoot at John McClane's house, who is my good Judy. I think that she's fab too. I think Lawrence is very polished. Sometimes I think that she paints a little bit tilted so that it's almost like she's looking down, and then when her face comes back up straight, the angle of the eye is slightly off for my eye. It's done perfectly, but it's just the slight touches like that I think sometimes she could have twisted. But what she's done is amazing, and she actually takes her hairline back, which widens the proportion of her face. She's done a little transformation series on her Instagram, which is amazing. So I love Lawrence Chaney. I think she's fantastic. Sister. Now, Sister is an interesting character because she's not shown herself fully throughout the early episodes. So I'm not quite sure what there is to describe within her personality because I'm not quite sure what she does. I'm not sure what kind of queen she is. Sister's makeup, I think, is done okay, but in the promo look, which I'm looking at now, she's got a similar thing to me, which is where you put the straight eyelashes on a downturned eye, and sadly, we don't have the shape to make them look up. They almost drag the eye down. If it was me, I'd just put another pair on top and make it go even bigger. But again, she does great makeup, and I don't know anything about her, so I can't really comment. She is transformed throughout the lockdown. She's actually had a little bit of work done. I would leave out the teeth. I think her teeth were fabulous before. And what can I say? I don't know if there was some competition or some deliberate intention to do the chip packet look, which Ahura did, but I don't know. I think she's come back with a vengeance. Maybe she's going to show something. I'm not quite sure. With the makeup, what can I say? Next is the stunning Tace. Now, Tace just is beautiful. Like, he just has a beautiful face. Now, Tace's makeup, I do think, is a little bit towards the natural side because his aesthetic is about looking like a glamorous, beautiful supermodel queen. I would do so much more. I play with his face more. I think sometimes people get comfortable looking pretty, which I'm guilty of, and I will do a pretty look because that's what I think will be most effective. But he could do so much more with colour, and I'd love to see different looks without contacts in, just for variety. And I'd love to see purples. I think purples would just look fantastic. There's nothing I can say because it's beautifully done. It's my fantasy world that I want to create in, so I'm just giving my ideas. The blood splattered look was genius, so gorgeous. Tia Kofi. Now, Tia Kofi's makeup looks like she studied Naomi Smalls and tried to recreate Naomi Smalls on her face. Naomi Smalls' makeup is not done to the most complimentary style that she could wear. However, there's recently been a picture that I saw where she had her makeup done by more of a generic makeup artist, and I thought that she just looked fantastic. And if it was up to me, I'd hybrid the two. I'd take some of the contour, especially in the centre of the face, from that new kind of like look, and then introduce all of the drag looks around it just to kind of balance everything out. Tia Kofi, she is gorgeous. She's got gorgeous skin. She could do a lot with contour. She doesn't know how to pull the under eye highlight into the nose shape. So my biggest thing that I would do if I did her makeup would change the shape of her contour. That's the first thing. The second thing is she has drawn on her eyebrows very dark, so the eyebrows don't necessarily define her face. There's actually a video of Wade Bandy, who is a classic genius makeup artist on YouTube, and he's actually lightening the brows up. So for me, I would either lighten them all up on a shoe and really colour them in a paler way, or I would do something that was more about restructuring them into the same kind of way that Ru would do them, because Ru's is really high in his face and they're really transparent and it just softens everything down. She knows what she's doing in terms of drag. It's just that there's things that you can do differently that would just make her aesthetic a little bit more to what she, I guess, has in mind. But she's gorgeous and I'm very entertained by her. I like her attitude, and I genuinely don't know if I've met this one before, because I'm not sure I have, but maybe I have. But yeah, I'd love to do her makeup. I've already got a design in my head that I would do. So yeah, on to the next, Joe Black. Now, I know Joe Black. I don't know how much I will go into that story. It's very interesting to see him on the show because his performance is branded as Mr. Joe Black. Now, Drag Race should embrace people that are going through all different expressions of drag, because you can be a drag king, you can be a drag queen, and you're still going to be booked at the same event, and everyone should have that amazing opportunity to show their work. And Joe is a very talented musician. He can play lots of different instruments. I don't really know what to say about the makeup, because the makeup to me is what I don't think I've ever seen him do that makeup. He used to wear like emo makeup and dipped in glitter almost. I think he looks fantastic in a flash photo. I think it looks great. And I think that his aesthetic as a drag queen is better when it's more boyish than when it's kind of hybridized. Because sometimes I think he doesn't know the proportions that you would put someone of his stature in terms of wigs. He's gone for the short wigs, obviously, because that's what he does as a boy performer. But I don't know what to comment on him other than he's a fantastic musician. He's got a lot of skill set, and I think that it's a great partnership with his partner Aaron, because he brings a lot of different elements to that, and I think they obviously do things together. So that's all I can say. Veronica Green is very interesting to me because she has a fantastic voice. She's a great performer, and it's very sad that she didn't get the opportunity to return to the contest. But she is semi-new, I guess, when it comes to the Queen's sort of aesthetic, and I think she's still learning about things. The looks she's put together, however, have been fantastic. There's nothing that I can say in criticism. There's not been one that's particularly off. Obviously, the pig nose was not applied in the manner you would expect someone that was professional to apply a prosthetic, but they probably had 30 minutes to do it. She puts a lot of effort into this, and she's dedicated her time, and it was very sad to see her actually in the Queen's of Lockdown, because it showed how traumatized she kind of was from the lockdown, and my heart does go out to her. I spoke to her on Instagram. She's a fantastic queen, and I think a great addition to the show. Ginny Lemon is very interesting to me because I've seen them before. They've been like very kind of prominent, and they've also been on X Factor, and yeah, I've seen them in the nethersphere, if you will, of drag. Very fantastic to watch, possibly with a little bit of steel in there, but again, I think it's fantastic to see such diversity, and there's so many characters in the drag scene. There used to be this incredible, very old person called Jeannie, who used to go to all the clubs in London, and she was fantastic. She looked crazy in terms of what you would think of as drag, but everyone adored her because she was probably quite old, very elderly, quite crazy. There's been people that dress like the Queen that have been prominent on the scene. There's been so many different things, and she's a fantastic example of all the craziness we have in the UK. So what can I say about the makeup? Let me do your makeup, girl. We can make you look like a glamour girl for a day, and then go back to Ginny Lemon. Fabulous. Next is Astina Mandela, and I think that she's part of this scene that I've kind of avoided, which is the Sync the Pink thing. I don't really know much about Sync the Pink because I took a back step from all of this whole drag world in about, I think, 2016. And I don't really know much about what goes on in that scene. I've got some friends that are involved with it and they really love it. But for me, I I'm a bit green when it comes to it. I don't understand what the whole dynamic is, but I think it's more performance based, and I think people get a lot of credit almost from this pageantry side of it, which is like the Miss Sync, the Pink Queen or whatever. I don't know enough to comment. She is a fantastic performer. She can dance her socks off. I've seen a performance of her on YouTube where she looked amazing. With the makeup, she has not yet developed that signature thing that's new to her. It's beautifully applied, but I don't know if it's the best she could look, because I think you could take it a step further. She does more of a natural, beautiful look, which she can pull off because she's gorgeous. But maybe you could double up on everything she's doing and bring in a little bit of a proportion shift in the lower face. I'd also add some more dimension to the face by bringing in some shimmers. And I think when she did the Naomi Campbell look, it looked fantastic because there was texture to the skin. I also think it would be cool for her to wear bigger hair because she looked quite petite to me. And I think that where her proportion is quite athletic, it was difficult to see how a dress would look if, for example, the bottom was as wide as the top and the hair might just balance that out a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know enough about her, but I think she's fantastic. Finally is Cherry Valentine. Now, Cherry Valentine does fantastic makeup, very beautifully applied. It's very drag what we see. It's very similar to Ahora's in my opinion, because they kind of reference what's there at the moment, and that's how a lot of people learn when they start. But she takes it to the next level with some of the stuff she's done. And when I saw the alien look on her Twitter, I was blown away. It just looked fantastic. She did a great job. It was a beautiful prosthetic application. Loved the green. She definitely pulls up her eyelid space a little bit higher than I think she needs to. She's got a gorgeous face as a boy. She doesn't need to kind of exaggerate that as much, but it gives you more into play. So what can I say? I can't criticise it. But I'm a fan of Cherry, and I think that it's fantastic to see what the looks she's provided on Instagram, because she's brought a lot of discipline to this. So that is my reaction to the UK Drag Race season 2. And I really enjoy talking about the makeup because I can sit here and give my opinion about what they've done in the challenges, but I'm a makeup artist and it's not my cup of tea to give my opinion on things I can't do very well myself. If you have any specific ideas for things you want me to react to, please let me know and I'll try my best to get that done. But I've been a bit uninspired within the makeup realm because everyone was asking me to do the Gorilla Glue thing, and I just felt it would be mean to do that because I didn't know the poor girl had really hurt herself. So I didn't know what to do. But yeah, I'm learning what I want to do and what I like to do. For me, this is now a fun project, not a career project, because thankfully my work is going fantastically in other areas. But I'd also love to do some of their makeup, so give me your ideas below. All right guys, I will see you all in my next video and take care.